Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Sunday, or not so happy Sunday. Depends how you want to look at it, really. But we're all alive. Sorry, I've just got to pull my trousers up. We're all alive.
Well,
We
don't do
breathe.
that. I like them down.
We live to see another day. Unexpected stream. Jimbo said to me this morning, "Oh, I've been thinking about the game and I've been thinking about this and I really want to stream." And I said, "Well, come on then, we'll do a stream." So here we are. So Jimbo, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, good. I'm feeling all right. No,
Good.
I can handle a loss, even though it was a bad loss and it was upsetting at the time. It was hard when I streamed with Mia after the game. Straight after the game, I found that a little bit difficult, but weren't going to let my mate Mia down, so I went on with her. But it wasn't easy.
Yeah. Right.
It's
Before we
time to
start,
think and take it all in, and it's better.
all right. Before we start, let's see who's in the chat. We've got Ellie who says, "Big up! It's St Patrick's Day. Well, happy St Patrick's Day to everyone. I'm going to celebrate and be happy from now on. Have a good day, Ellie. Big up, Mia. Thank you very much for the redirect. Nice to see you. Big up, Potato Stew coming in from Mia's chat as well. Big up, Godfrey also coming in from Mia's chat. Big up, Sard. Sticking up for me yesterday, telling me I'm not ugly. Big up to you. Little things like that mean a lot to me, especially coming from a gooner. So big up to you, Sard. Good to see you, my man. I've been told I need to put in Mia raid. Well, Tequila, you better do as you're told. We all know
I
Mia
made
can be a bit psycho.
I
Go on,
made tequila a tea, but he ain't turned up for it, so I'm gonna have to drink it.
His tea's good as well. I can vouch. Big up, Godfrey. Nice to see you. To see you, nice. Sorry, Potato. You know, when I start a stream, anything can happen. And I just noticed my trousers were falling down, so I had to have a little wiggle, pull my old trousers up.
Oh, I
Yes,
like a little wiggle.
I started a few minutes early because Mia finished, so I thought I'd start a bit early because that's how I roll. I can do as I please, and I thought, you know what, I'm going early. Big up, Drew. La la, lovely to see you, my darling. Hope you are well. We're good, thank you. Tequila, just about to analyse yesterday's debacle, but yes, we're all good. It was difficult because of other reasons, Jimbo. And talking of other reasons, big up Lee Smithy Smith, the pigeon lover. Hope you're well, sir. You were a little bit worse for wear last night, weren't you? But good to see you here. I hope you have a really bad hangover because you deserve it. We're here for you, Jimbo. Come on, you Spurs. Good morning. Sounds like I missed nothing by falling asleep at half time. Do you know what? I really wish I'd have fell asleep at half time. I really wish I had. I hate that word Spursy. Sorry, Lee. I hate it as well. But I didn't know what else to say.
It.
It was a Spursy performance yesterday. In fact, I've always said there's no such thing as Spursy after yesterday. I'm not so sure. That performance was inexplicable. And if you Google it, Spursy's actually there. There is a definition for it. So there is such a word.
Oh.
Big up Revenite. Not seen you for a couple of weeks. Hope you're well and everything's good with you. How do you see your game going today against Manchester United? I think it's going to be a tricky one. I'm not going to lie. Big up to you, Nick. Nice to see you. Yeah, Lee. Thoughts on Richie's miss. Big up, Kate and Jimbo. Good afternoon, Mark Cook. Is Kate coming in hot? Opinions to share. Ooh, we'll have to wait.
It's always been hot since the day I met her.
And everyone, who's this at the bottom? Ellie. You know what annoyed me the most? I had to turn off is that gooner, Alan Smith. I'm writing to Sky to stop putting him on his matches. Oh, do you know what? He didn't half waffle, and he's just so annoying. I think it's time they shipped him out and got someone new in.
Yeah.
Big up Villa 1982.
Yeah.
For you today.
Good luck today.
Yeah. Really put the pressure on Spurs. You know, take advantage of the fact that we were absolutely crap yesterday and beat West Ham. So good luck to you. Jimbo, how do you want to start this, darling?
Well, I just I've seen a lot of meltdowns about Ange and meltdowns about the players. We've got to put it in perspective that we're actually doing well this season, and it's not like we get them performances all the time. It was a terrible performance, and I won't discredit anyone for having a bad opinion and saying certain things. But let's not go overboard. Right? We lost 3-0. They were better than us, hungrier than us. We weren't with it for some reason. It was like lasagna gate again. That's how they played. But let's not go overboard. You know, we're sitting fifth. We've had some really good football this season, enjoyable games. May some people say the football's not been brilliant, apart from the Villa game, but we've had some good results. It's his first season. We're going to look. Me and Kate was going through it this morning where other managers had finished in their first seasons, and it's very unlikely we're going to finish lower than fifth. Very unlikely. So I think that he's done really well, Ange, this season. And yesterday he made mistakes. I'll be the first one to say that. I said to Kate at half time that he should have done subs, and I was really surprised he never. So, but he's learning as well. So I know people are going to say I'm making excuses for him, but I'm going to make excuses for this club. Why? Because I love them so much, and I think they deserve it in their first season. New system, new players, new manager. There's a lot to take into consideration. So I just think that we shouldn't be too hard, that we should maybe put this down to a bad day at the office and see what happens in the Luton game.
Nick says he blames you because you've got him believing. Big up Minerals, hope you're well. Who played worse, Johnson or Werner? Well, I actually did, I'm not name dropping when I say this, but I did a pump-up show with Dave, Irish Hotspur, Jacob and Ashmatic on We Are Tottenham TV, and I actually said I would start Werner because I think we needed his pace on the left. I know Anthony Robinson had a good game. I don't particularly rate him, and he muddied me because he did have a decent game, but I think we could have exposed him, and although Johnson's quick, I would have started Werner. So for me, Johnson played worse than Werner did because Johnson played for a lot longer.
I thought Werner, when he come on, apart from his 2 inches out miss, which should have been a goal, I thought he livened the game up for us. He brought a bit. He brought a bit of injection into it. So apart from his miss, I think that he done all right when he come on. But look, at the end of the day, let's talk about misses. All the top players miss. We've seen Højlund, best striker in the world.
Haaland, not Højlund.
We've seen Kane, one of the best strikers.
That Aubameyang, when he missed that absolute.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put him on there. But
he's still a good striker.
Yeah, but no, let's not talk about him in the same breath as Kane and Højlund, right? We've seen top players miss. It was a bad day yesterday. Everything went wrong. And we just got to accept that. And let's move on to the Luton game. Get behind Ange and get behind the boys. And then take it from there. Look, if it keeps happening, and then it's different. But it hasn't kept happening this season. You know, we lost some games when we lost a lot of players. But apart from that, we've done well in his first season.
No one said what happened was, Lee. No one said I was ugly. I said I'm big enough and ugly enough to take it because me and Alan were the only two Spurs fans that went on the terrace. Everyone bottled it. And Sard said, "You're not ugly, Kate," which I thought was rather nice, being a gentleman. So that's all it was. But thank you, guys. Cucurella's just scored for Chelsea. They are 1-0 up. We were all poor except Venom and Højbjerg and Werner when they came on. I think they were all poor. I think Venom was the best of a bad bunch. I don't think he was brilliant either. I don't think you can lose 3-0 and then say your keeper is an 8 out of 10, but that's my opinion. I just thought it was awful. And one thing we've learned is there's plenty of players at Spurs that aren't good enough. When Maddison comes on, I know let me rephrase that. When Maddison's not playing at his best, we notice it because we've got a lack of creativity. And when he comes off the pitch, we notice it because there's no creativity. Benton Kerr's clearly not fully fit. He doesn't look anywhere near what he can do. I thought Johnson was poor. I don't want to single people out because it just was a terrible day at the office by everybody.
It's very hard to single people out. I'm not going to single people out because I thought they were all terrible. And when he did make the subs, we did get a bit more lively. So if he'd have done them at half time, who knows what would have happened. But Basuma, I mean, I'm so disappointed in him this season. You know, I thought he was going to come to us from Brighton and be
the first 10 games, he was sensational. And I think he lured us all into this sense of security that he was going to be a world beater. And he's just dropped off like a stone. It's just awful. But my view is, given till the end of the season, and if we don't see an improvement, we need to get someone better. Well, we need to get someone anyway to compete for that place. But we need consistency. We're not getting consistent week in, week out performances from Even Sonny, who was magnificent last week, and he weren't even at his best, but he was brilliant. He was just awful. Everyone was awful yesterday. It was like everyone was ill. That's the only thing I can say. It was like everyone was ill. It's not 6 months though anymore, is it? It's what, July, August, September,
It's
October.
not far off, Kate.
9 months nearly. It's 9 months now. Watkins starts for Villa. Good news for them. Kulu, big up Andy. Kulu playing at right wing is starting to be a problem. Yeah, he's too slow, he's too sluggish, and he's too predictable. Trying to cut back on his left every time. Right, Jim? Am I right? Or am I talking
100%. 100%. Yeah.
We need, my priority in this window, if I had to choose, is 2 new wingers. I don't care if he signs Werner and keeps him as a squad player. I think he deserves a chance and I think he's cheap. I know people are going to slate me for that, but I think he can bring something to the team off the bench. But we need 2 new wingers, one either side, and we need a really good creative midfielder and a really good defensive midfielder, in my opinion. I would have loved Zubimendi going for someone like that. But yeah, this squad needs a lot of work.
Kate, can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea just had a shot on target, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it hit Sterling. If he hadn't have been there, it'd have been 2-0.
You're so funny.
He saved Leicester a goal. Good old Sterling.
So funny. You're so happy by their mistakes. The Villa team: Martinez, Konsa, Lenglet. Oh, lucky you. Torres, Moreno, Douglas Luiz, Tielemans, Rodgers, Bailey, Duran, Watkins. Good team. Good team. Be a good match. I really think it'll be a good close match. We created 4 great chances in a shorter time when Maddox came off.
Yeah. They livened up, didn't they, when he made the sub? So if he'd have done them at half time, we don't know where we would have gone.
Yeah, he needed to make. Do you know what? Even sometimes I wish Ange would say, right, Kulu, Johnson, switch sides, confuse the players, confuse the other team. They both can play both sides, so switch them up and see what happens. He doesn't take enough chances for me. He's got nothing to lose. But anyway, afternoon, Kate and Jimbo. Wishing you both the best. Gutted from yesterday. Can't get my tiny mind around the fact it was the game starting 11 that put 4 past Villa. Do you know what? This is the beauty of Spurs. And this is exactly what I said last night on the terrace. They are the worst team in the world to support. And I won't have anyone tell me there's a worse team to support than Tottenham, because they build you up here and the next week you're back down to being absolutely dog shit all over again. It's just so scary. Well, I haven't put my monetization on, so it don't matter. Spurs fans told Basuma better than Rice. Well, you would argue the first 10 games there was that argument that Basuma was playing better than Declan Rice. But it's like everything, form is temporary, class is permanent. Maybe not good enough is harsh. Unfortunately, it's about the team. And maybe once one player isn't on there, it falls down. Yeah. Good point, Kate. We don't even have lasagna for lunch. Oh, we didn't have lasagna for lunch yesterday. At least we'd have a reason then. At least we'd have an absolute reason as to why it was so bad. Spurs under 21s 1-0 up versus a Borough, so there's some better news, Kate and Jimbo. They all couldn't put a pass together. Sarr and Bish just stood there when that 3rd goal went in. I thought Sarr was atrocious yesterday. Worst I've seen him play all season. Just so sloppy. You kept saying, Sarr's give the ball away again. You was going mad at him, Jimbo.
Yeah, and you know something, right? I got to a point, I could never, ever eat when Tottenham are playing. I can't eat. And you know something, it got so bad yesterday, I just sat here and I said to Kate, I'm starving. So she done my dinner. And I ate my dinner in the second half. I think that's the first time I've ever ate my dinner watching Tottenham.
I think it is as well. You don't even normally have like a bag of crisps or anything when Tottenham are on. Scouts need to be working harder. Need players that want to be at Spurs. Need a DM that can run a game. Exactly that.
Look, on his, I said this just yesterday on Mia's channel. On his interview, he said that they've got their players identified who they want. He said as from now they've been working on it. So and they know who they want and they're working on getting them in. So he knows the positions. He said he knows the positions he needs to strengthen. So he knows what he wants, where he wants it. Let's just hope that in the summer we get him in.
No, I don't think he's been off form since January. Minerals, he was superb last game when he came back from the Africa Cup of Nations, he was brilliant, and we realised how much we'd miss him. But he was terrible yesterday, and Basuma was terrible yesterday. And yet, again, he looked like he was picking up some form. But there's no real way to explain what happened, except it was just a disaster class. But as Jim said, we were looking at where managers finished. The first seasons, Klopp finished 8th on his first season with Liverpool. Arteta finished 8th in his first season with the Goons. Pep 3rd. Mourinho 3rd. Obviously, they were already good teams when they came in. Good teams. And Sir Alex finished 11th. So
they nearly sacked Sir Alex.
Yes,
he was
they
close
did.
to getting the sack.
Yeah. So there isn't a reason to panic. It is a project, but I will say, if we're sitting here this time next year and there's performances like that against the likes of Fulham, Ange will be under massive pressure, and I'll be amazed if he doesn't get sacked. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I mean, if it keeps going on, Kate, if it keeps going on, and then they've got to be put under the microscope, right?
Yeah.
But look, it was a terrible day yesterday, and it hurt everybody. Every Spurs fan's hurting. But what we mustn't do is just react over losing a 3-0 game. You know, it was a bad day, terrible day, but we have to move on from it and see where we go with Luton before, you know, we all have a meltdown. You know, it was a terrible day for the players, for the manager. No one was on the ball, but let's see what happens from now on. You know, it's the first real terrible game we've had, apart from when we was half a team, when we had so many players out.
Morning, Tigara. Good to see you. And you, Chris Agenbar. Good afternoon. Big up Brian Daigle over at Tottenham on Tour for sending everyone over. You legend. I shall blow you a virtual kiss when I see you.
I was going to say something else then. I was going to say, no, you fucking ain't.
Potatoes, it's very harsh. The 4-0 win against Villa, then this result, both highs and lows. To be fair, this was predicted with having Ange. Yeah, we're always going to, we play so open. We're always going to have games where do you know what? I just didn't see it being a battering. This really hurts. I don't mind if we lose the odd game, but to lose like that was just really like a knife in the heart. We had a worse team in Klopp's first season than Ange does. Kate, I believe Klopp came in midway through the season, but I get your point. Big up, Ben. Thank you for the redirect. Levy out. Patience is needed. Need at least 2 years for judging. Yeah, but we'll Mr. Levy give him that. Time will tell. Big up the Belgium Hotspur. Big up to you. Nice to see you. Nice. I'm really disappointed on so many levels. The game, the fan base, the histrionics. It was a bad day. Yeah, some of the reactions I've seen have been crazy, reactionary madness. But this, I think Tottenham and Arsenal's fan bases are the two most toxic fan bases in the league. And it's one way or another. There's never a happy medium. We try and keep it happy medium-ish here. But I've seen some absolute, and Twitter as well. I know it's a cesspit, but God, they've been going mad on Twitter, haven't they, Jimbo?
Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. You know, you can have criticism. No one's saying don't criticize. You know, we're criticizing that. All right, Shem. We're criticizing. You know, it was a terrible day. The players weren't on it. Ange weren't on it, and we should say the truth when it's like that. But let's not go overboard. Let's keep it in a little bit of a perspective. Chelsea just missed a penalty.
Did they?
Sterling again.
Small thing.
Yeah, let's keep it in perspective, right? The season so far is going better than everybody thought, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And to get less than 5th is going to be very unlikely now. So it's going to be 4th or 5th for us. So let's keep it in perspective. That's a good season, first season. Everything's new, everything, you know, in the football side of the club. It's all new. Manager, players, system, training. You know, the food's changed. He's changed so much. He said that out on interviews. So let's just keep it in perspective and move on, and still love our Tottenham and Ange.
Big up Shemtan. It says Tottenham on 12 said I have to come to your channel or they'll send me a replay of the Fulham game. Oh, no one needs to see that again. Big up Andrew Gregory. Big up Tom81. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming over. Ronnie says Vicario 6, Porro 3, Romero 5, Radu 3, Udogi 3, Bis 2, Sar 5, Madders 3, Kulu 3, Son 3, Johnson 2. I would say Vicario 6, and I'd give the rest between 4 and 5.
That's where I'm going to go, and that's unlike me. But that's exactly what I'd say.
The Belgium Hotspur says, I personally think something happened in house this week. The drop-off is just so big. Yeah, we never know.
I mean, I fully expected us to go out there and just carry on where we left off.
Yep.
And it was the complete opposite, you know, and it was just so disappointing. But look, it's one game. It's not going to end our season, is it?
No, we were the worst we've ever been. No heart, no passion, no fight. I think that's the hardest thing. They didn't have any fight at all. It just looked like they rolled over and got their tummies tickled. It was like the Spurs of old. Steve Perman said he stayed calm on the touchline. Do you think Ange should stay calm or lose it? I had this discussion with Gooners, right? Because I said I don't like the fact that Ange stands with his hands in his pockets. And they give me a load of grief saying, but you're always criticising Arteta for running up and down, which I am. But there's a happy medium. I don't want Ange to start running up and down, coming out of his technical area, screaming, shouting. But I want him to turn around to the fans and tell them, lift them, tell them they've got to lift the team. And I want him to sort of just G his team up. There's just nothing. I find it so... Oh, I just don't like it. I don't like a coach that stands with their hands in their pockets for 90 minutes. It doesn't sit well with me at all.
But look, everybody's different, Kate. You know, look at me. I shout we're going to win the league, right? And then there's other people who say we're finished between 5th and 8th. It's just everybody's different the way they react. And maybe he's not a screamer and a shouter out in public. You know, he's always calm in his press conferences, and you can see sometimes in his face that he's fuming. You know, so but maybe he just does it all behind closed doors. I mean, he's give them their instructions. You know,
there's still no reason why he can't turn around to the fans and try and G the fans up. I just it doesn't sit well with me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm sorry.
Well, I wouldn't say one step forward, 3 steps back. I'm going to say 1 step forward, 1 step back. Because we won last week nicely and we lost this week nicely. Like, not nicely, but by a ridiculous score for us, which I think was a ridiculous score, 3-0. But let's see where we go from here. I can't sit here and be too criticised too much, you know, because the way the season's gone.
Tigara's spot on, flying last week and begging for blood this week. Fickle mushheads, 2 points off 4th in year 1. What the fuck? I couldn't agree more. Pathetic performance. Another game we underestimated teams. Think we have a God-given right to beat them. I think Marco Silva had Ange down to a T. He knew exactly how to play. It was a bit of a masterclass from Silva. We've got to give credit to Fulham, and I think he just got them so organised. It was just a great performance from them, and I do think we did really underestimate them. I know I did. I thought it would be quite a comfortable victory, but we live and learn.
I agree with Ben there. What Ben said there. I think that a lot of people did think we was going to go on and win. I'm one of them. I won't deny it. I thought we would beat them, but I don't think we've got a God-given right to beat them. That's for sure. I don't think we've got a God-given right to beat anyone in the league. But I think that a lot of people did underestimate them, me being one of them.
And me, 100%. Big up to Daniel Leave Me. That's one of my favourite names. We had a great start to the season that gave us delusions of grandeur. Rebuilds have ups and downs. Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah,
good. That's the comment.
The way to think.
Good comment.
Yeah. We have had a question which I've starred. I will come back to it. Pure arrogance. Thought they'd just turn up and roll Fulham over. Yep. I can't disagree with you.
I agree with that.
Ange did say fourth's nothing to celebrate. Are we really ready for Champions League football? You don't know till you're in it. Who would have thought we'd have got to the final under Poch? You know, at the end of the day, if you want to be the best, you've got to play in the best competitions. It's a good test for us no matter what if we get Champions League. Ange screamed and shouted. Just look at Sonny post-match. Yeah, but he didn't. He doesn't. I don't want him screaming, shouting the touchline. I can't really get across what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say.
You want him to organise them.
Yeah, I just want a bit of something. I don't want him screaming, shouting. I just want some sort of emotion on that touchline, and we don't
It
get
should be
anything.
drummed into him there. What he wants out of them, Kate, because he's with
Yeah.
them all week, so they should know. He shouldn't have to tell them on the touchline. Well, what to be doing? When
But
I
I
played
thought,
football, I really it was a low level while I played. But when my manager told me to do so, I done it to the T. He didn't have to tell me again from the touchline. You know.
I will say, at full time, I thought Sonny was actually going to cry.
He did look like he was gutted. Yeah,
He
that's
was
the
devastated.
reactions. The reaction is the biggest thing that we got to look for now.
Yeah, exactly that. I have no doubt in my mind that Ange went proper mental at halftime and full time. Yeah, I'm sure he did. When you're playing terrible and you're having a rotten game, you look to the sideline to your manager for help, and all they see is a stern face with hands in the pocket saying nothing. That's exactly my point. That is exactly my point, Shem. It just doesn't sit well with me. I like leadership. Yeah, it doesn't. Shem, Tom, I've styled your comment. I'm going to come back to it, but I'm getting behind. So any questions I will come back to. If we play like this in Champions League, it really will be embarrassing.
Yeah.
Big up,
Yeah.
Desiree. Good to see you. Nice to see you nice and all that. Tom, every football fan's fickle. That's what football does to people. This is true. Big up, Donna Cullen says, during the game, I had a period of that. Oh, God, too much information. Thank you. I watched the match back. We lost it mainly because they win the physical battles and we just thought we could turn up and win. We just weren't at the races. Agreed, Ellie. You enjoy St. Patrick's Day. And
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Enjoy it.
So all the Irish out there.
Yeah. Top of the morning to you, laddie. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Have some Guinness. That was the worst Irish accent ever. Big up Daniel E. says, I'll be real. I'm struggling to work out why a manager of over 25 years struggles to see we needed subs at half time. Yep. Jimbo and I did say this. The midfield was overrun. It wasn't working. He took way too long to make changes, in my opinion. Yeah. In-game management needs to be worked on for sure. Lee says, I think the best coaches remain dignified on the touchline. The worst ones, like Allardyce and Dyche, are always ranting. Gareth Southgate, model of how to behave on the touchline. Don't say that. Don't say Gareth Southgate. They wanted it more than us. Big up Hesper. They wanted it more than us, but Ange needs to take some blame. Fulham exploited the gaps left by inverted fullbacks, and he didn't react too long to take subs. And Son isn't captain material. I don't agree with the last bit. I'm sorry, Haz. I think I saw you on Tottenham away last night saying that. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. Big up to you too. Harry Kane out the England squad. Got an injury to his ankle. Oh, that would be marvellous. So he'll probably be out of the Bayern game against the Gooners now. Is that what's going to happen? Bloody typical. Ange says it. Don't let yourselves down. And boy, did they do that. It was just a change from last match to hit the hardest. Agreed.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, Dicaro. It was just such a drop off. It was just like, well, I mean, I watched the first 15 minutes and I just thought to myself, this ain't the team that played last week, but it was the team that played last week. That was the thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was such a drop off.
Captain is not what it was, but to say Son is not captain material is silly. Yeah, and reactionary, in my opinion. Sonny's reaction after the game tells me they will be their own worst critics. Pity it's a 2-week wait before we can see if I'm right or wrong. They need to go to Dubai in that 2 weeks. Anyone that's not going on international duty, because that worked for Arsenal. They came back a whole different team. David Dermott told me no one in Ireland says top of the morning to you, Kate. Really? That's just a fallacy then. Leicester haven't laid a glove on Chelsea this whole half. Right, the questions we've got. Tom81 says, what do you think of Ange's top 4 comments, Jimbo?
I'm not disappointed with him because I think that he's telling the truth. His philosophy is building a team that can move forward and challenge on all fronts. Now, getting top 4 don't necessarily mean we're going to challenge on all fronts, does it? Because I Afternoon, Paddy.
Sorry if I offended you, but happy St. Patrick's Day, Paddy. And yeah, that accent was atrocious. Oh,
Um,
Jim.
yeah, because he wants a team that can challenge on all fronts, and getting top four doesn't mean that. He said he'd rather finish fifth and look at his team and say, right, this team can challenge next year, which to me it makes sense, But wouldn't it be nice to finish top four and have a team that can challenge next year? But I understand what he's saying. It's all about progress with him because it's not a 5-minute project.
Yeah,
He's got
and
a
you don't
4-year
get
contract, Kate. So
you don't.
go on.
I was going to say you don't get a trophy for finishing top four.
Yeah. So it's all about progress. So I'm not disappointed in what he said. Not at all. I
Yeah, look.
understand what he said.
You said, I wonder if Levy will have kittens when he hears that. And that's
Yeah.
basically what Tom's saying.
The first thing I said when he said it, Tom, was I bet Levy's sitting there having kittens.
Big up Colin, talking
Colin?
ball. Good to see you. Make sure everyone goes over, smashes their like and subscribe over there. Yeah, with regards to Ange's comments, I can understand what he's saying. Is he covering himself in case we don't get top four? Don't know. A lot of people are saying he's taking the pressure off the team and himself. I don't know the answer to that. I do understand where he's coming from, but yeah, I get it. I didn't particularly like the whole. I'm not going to lie. I didn't particularly like the whole Dejan Kulusevski comment where he said we may have lost to Chelsea, but we won at life. I don't really get that. That's kind of a loser mentality for me. But Ange's comments, like Jim said, he wants a side that regularly competes. He doesn't want to just finish top
He doesn't
four.
want to, Kate. He doesn't want to win a trophy here and there, right? And he doesn't want to finish top four and not win nothing. He wants to win things. So to him, the number one thing is to get this team into a place where they're challenging for everything and winning things.
Yeah.
To him, getting top four is not winning.
Yeah, which it isn't. I have to agree with you, Tom 81. I don't think he'll last either. I don't think he'll last. I think he may get next season and he may get the season after, but that'll be the limit. Unless by some mad miracle we win a cup. But
well, look, let's be realistic, right? Let's be realistic. This isn't really down to Ange if we succeed or not. This is down to Levy if we succeed or not. Because if Levy gives Ange the money and gives him the right personnel, this team will succeed. But will Levy do that? That's open to debate. I'm sitting here hoping and praying that he's learned his lesson and he will. But I bet for every one of us that thinks that way, there's 10 that thinks he won't, or maybe even 20.
Yeah.
So this is not really for me down to Ange. This is down to Levy. If Levy backs him, we can get success. But if Levy don't back him, and it's going to be another manager out the door. But people yesterday were saying sack Ange. What are you going to do? Bring in Prince Charles? Well, after Prince Charles, who are you going to bring in? Mickey Mouse? What? You've got to leave a manager in place and see what he can do. 6 months, 9 months, whatever he's been in, isn't enough. We've got to give him more time and see if Levy backs him. And if Levy don't back him, it will be the same old circle that we've been seeing for the last 20 years. Manager in, manager out, manager in, manager out, winning all. One trophy,
Yeah.
So it's down to Levy now to put his finger out and show us fans that the hiking price in the season tickets and him coming on stage saying he's learnt lessons, right? That he's going to back that up and back a manager.
Yeah, and it'll be the proof will be in the pudding. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case, starting with the summer. Only 4 of the starting 11 were Ange's signings. He needs more time and players. Yeah, I completely agree with you, 1,000,000%. Ronnie says, I believe Ange will take us to glory, but as Jim says, it's down to Levy. Yep. I don't trust Levy, Kate and Jimbo. I think when you need bigger signings, he will go for cheaper, like Werner and Johnson. Well, Johnson wasn't cheap. It was just a dodgy signing. He wasn't cheap. What is it, 16 or 17 managers in 23 years? Yeah, I know. It's absolutely bonkers. It's all very well to say bring the players he needs, but we can't even get rid of the players from the previous 4 managers. Yeah, there's that as well.
I can tell you something now, right? I will completely change my stance, right, with this club, and I'm being serious now. You know, I back my club and I back my managers and I back the players. Even managers I haven't liked, I've backed because I love my club. But if Levy doesn't change this time with Ange, right, my stance will go on completely on the other side. And I will be 1,000,000% Levy out if he doesn't back in this time. He's got no excuse. The revenue's up, right? We've got all the frills at the club now to make money. The go karting, the skywalk, the concerts, the American football. You know, the prices hiked. You know, the when you buy a shirt, if you want a shirt and you want something on the back, it's like 120 odd quid, 130 quid. So he's got no excuse now not to back this club, right? He's had his 20 years of saying he's building a new stadium, I'm doing this and I'm doing. He's done all that now. The money's coming in. We're the richest club in London. We're one of the richest clubs in the world with the new shiny stadium, the new training ground. Now he has to back this club. So if he doesn't back this club under this manager, my stance will go from one side of the moon to the other. I'll go complete circle.
Not only that, but another thing that frustrates me massively, now we're on Daniel Levy, is how comes we haven't got any naming rights for the stadium? Because that's a massive amount of money that could be coming in and going into the investment for the squad. So that's got to be questioned. Is it that Levy's asking stupid money and no one will pay it? I mean, our stadium is massive. The revenue in our stadium, you know, it's this massive tourist attraction. We've got go-karts, we've got this, we've got that, we've got bloody God knows what else. But we can't get naming rights for the stadium. That doesn't make sense. And also, sorry, can I just quickly say, big up to 7 Camuels, which could be Kevin Samuels, who's just subbed to the channel. So welcome and thank you for the sub. And to the other people who've subbed today, you're all legends. Carry on, Jimbo. Sorry.
Yeah, so there's no excuses now with Levy, right? I've been one of Levy's biggest backers, right? In the sense of I don't like what he does with the football. I've said that from day one, right? I've said that he should stay out of football and stick to what he's good at, making money for the club. But now is the time, right? There's no excuse, right? I said to UK the other day, right? I will back Levy in the sense of the money's only just started coming in. They've had to lay out big money for the stadium. He didn't borrow all the money for the stadium. They still have to lay some out, right? And we've spent money at the club, and we have bought big players that haven't worked out. But now it's all fallen into place with the money coming in, with the stadiums built, the as I just said, the training facilities. His time now. He's opened his big gob, right? And said that on stage in front of millions of people that he's made mistakes and he's going to rectify them. So now let's see if he rectifies them.
Big up, get the fraud Arteta out of my club. Says big up Kate and Jimbo. Big respect, Kate, for going on the terrace. You know what it was? I wasn't planning to go on. Jim will know this, but Terry said that no Tottenham fans were coming on, and I thought I'm not having people think that I'm running away from it because that's something I never do. If we win, lose, if I'm around, I'll always go on it. So that was the reason. But I was going to ask you: do you want Arteta out of your club now? Do you want him to leave even if you win the league? I'd just be interested to know your stance on it. That's all. Revenite says.
Sterling's
recent penalty record has scored 5 of his last 7 pens. How is a player with that crap a record stepping up the ego? Oh, he's missed 5 of his last 7. What? Excuse me. Wow, I did not realise that. Spurs GCTV, my gut tells me we will bring in 5 or 6 in the summer. 3 or 4 first teamers and some youngsters. I also think we will break our transfer record. Do you think this will be enough for most fans? I think if we bring in someone like an Eze, that would be huge. I'm confident that might happen. There's a lot of links saying, a lot of media saying that it's going to happen, but we'll see. If we can bring in 3 or 4 oven-ready, I hate that word, but people always say it, players that walk straight into our team and improve it, that should be enough for fans, in my opinion. What do you think, Jimbo?
Yeah, if they bring in 5 or 6 players and 4 first team players for a window, that's good. And I mean, depending what they spend, obviously, if they only spend 30 million, and then no. But if they buy proper players that are going to help move us forward, then yes. You know, you can't change a club in one window. We've had 3 windows. First one I liked. Second one I was disappointed with. Now let's see what happens with the third one. It's going to need, 3, 4, maybe 5 windows to get this team where we want to get them. You can't do it on one window. The main thing is not just putting the money out, but it's paying wages to people that are not playing. Because if you bring players if you bring players in, that means players are going to be pushed to the sideline, but you're still paying their wages till you sell them. So you need to sell players as well.
Wow, look. Shem says he's making more money keeping it as a Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Everyone in sports entertainment all know it's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, free advertising. And Tom says, I've heard it's because every event that gets put on in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium gets shared all around the world, putting it firmly on the map. Wow. And Spurs says most of the USA now know about us due to the NFL. Wow, that's awful. Daniel says, I love Jimbo. I hope that Levy will change, but mate, we've had 23 years proof that it won't. Why is one more year in a different mate?
Well, the thing is, Daniel, right? The thing is I understand what you're saying, right? I do 100%. But I think that we're in a position now where he has to step up, right? He has to step up because the money's coming in now. It's advertised everywhere. What a big organisation we are and what sort of money we're earning. So he has to step up now. So if he doesn't step up now, and then he's never going to step up if he don't step up now.
Yeah. Cole Palmer makes it 2-0. I'm an Arsenal supporter, but I respect how you carry yourself on the panel. Starting to get a little peed off how some of our support can't see that the positives clearly outweigh the negatives right now. Yeah, but you'll always get that. You'll always get fans that want to be positive and fans that will always look for the bad things. Every fan can support them their way. You just got to take the good with the bad. I'd love to be in Arsenal's position right now. I'm not going to lie.
But he's right. He's right. I mean, I watch some Arsenal channels, and sometimes they've had a bad game, and their players get slaughtered, absolutely slaughtered, and they're sitting top of the league. And I just think to myself, oh my God, you're sitting top of the league. You've had some players have had a bad game, and they're really like to kick them out of the club.
Yeah. Big up Steve D. He says, so many Conte fanboys coming out the woodwork saying his fourth place was better and ignoring the terrible football and new manager bounce and Kane there to score the goals. Exactly that. We lost our talisman. Probably the best player in the world. The greatest player to ever put on a Tottenham shirt. I think people forget that. He earns more money than a sponsorship. Wow. Mark Cook says, the contrast Palmer to Johnson. I went on to Spurs Kings TV after the transfer window, and I said that Palmer will be one of the greatest signings of the window, and that he puts Johnson into. It makes Johnson look. What did I say? I can't remember the word I used, but I basically said I'm disappointed with Johnson when we could have had Palmer, and it's proved that way. Also, I just wanted to bring up the previous Spurs managers on their first seasons. Pochettino finished 5th. Redknapp finished 4th, Martin Jol finished 9th, Mourinho finished 6th. So, I think a lot of it is we started so well. We got us, we're sitting top of the league after 10 games. To then be where we are and facing these sort of losses, everyone's kind of lost their mind a little bit, which I get it. But, yeah, I think we need to just try and take a breath and be a little bit calm. Big up, Steve D. Thanks for the super chat, and hi to you too.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right to be upset, right? And it's all right to be disappointed and have some criticism, but let's not go overboard, right? Let's not go overboard and start singing Ange out and this player's this and this player's that. When last week they all had a fantastic game and all played well, and the goals got shared around. It was a bad day, right? And it's upsetting and it hurts. Right, I mean, I can tell you it hurts. I had to go on stream after and talk. Right, but let's take it in perspective where we are in 9 months under Ange. Right, where we are and watching the better football. The fans are all together. They're not fighting each other like there was under Conte. We're in a better place, and let's give it a bit of time and put it in perspective.
Oh my goodness! Can I just say this is going to sound really funny to anyone, but I've got 100 people watching for the first time ever since I have been YouTubing. So big up to everyone watching at the moment. That's massive for me. I really appreciate you all. If you can smash a like, I'll be massively grateful, and subscribe as well would be amazing. Tom says, I've been a Tottenham fan since 78. I honestly think it's just not the club I fell in love with all those years ago. Just doesn't feel the same. I get that feeling. I was born in 78, so I've supported them for as long as I can remember. But yeah,
Different
I
days,
understand. Yeah.
Tom. Different days. I mean, I used to go to Tottenham home away when I was in the country back then. I used to work out the country a lot, but I had my season ticket. And it was just different days, a different team. The mentality of the players were different. The money wasn't so big. They played not for the money, they played for the shirt. Like we wear the shirt because we love this club, you know. Players come in, they support Tottenham why they're playing for Tottenham, then they move on to a bigger pay packet. You know, it's just different. Players like Mickey Hazard, Robinson,
Gary
Robert, sorry,
Mabbott, Glenn
Gary
Oddle,
Mabbott,
Steve
even up to
Perryman.
the days of Ledley King, you know, Garth Crooks. I mean, them players played. They played for us, for the shirt. They give their blood and sweat. They played with Mabbott played with a fractured arm, broken noses. They played with.
Ryan Roberts.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different, just completely different nowadays.
Harry
At least
says,
we're lucky, Tom, and we can say we saw them days. A
yeah,
lot of
big up
Tottenham
Harry.
fans can't.
Big up Harry Richardson says, I'm an Arsenal fan too. I can't stand fans like Egal, who's done videos saying 99% of Arsenal teams better than Real Madrid. Those are the fans who make us look like a bunch of idiots. It's the same with me when I went on the terrace the first time and I've got those two kids telling me I'm a gooner because they're saying we're going to win the league. Now everybody thinks that all Tottenham fans thought we were going to win the league. You're always going to get that, unfortunately. And you're always going to get piled into the, oh, you fans all fault. Well, no, I never thought that. I never said that. Don't put me in the same category as those people.
As my husband.
Yeah, it's my husband. Big up, Mark. Congrats on the 2-0 so far. It says, just jumped into light and say this should be 5.
I know.
Yes. Yeah, Jimbo's got it on. So
I've got it on, Mark, and you should be at least 5 up.
I feel for you fans. Let's make like him makes rivals hate your fan base. They're crazy with their takes. Ellie, what do you mean? I'm disagreeing there, Kate. Sorry, hun. Hoddle is the greatest player who's pulled on our shirt. What did I say about Hoddle?
Nothing.
You were saying that we had some great players, and I said, yeah, Hoddle.
We just never mentioned Hoddle.
No, I did. I said Hoddle.
Oh,
I said Hoddle. Oh, I'm miles behind on the comments. Bloody Nora.
God, I'll shut up.
Kate, do you want Raheem Sterling? No, thank you. You could keep him. Thank you for asking. I didn't feel like I talked much last night, to be honest. Laugh out loud. Big up Kuva with a massive donation to the channel. Ledge. Pass like we did yesterday, and any system or formation is doomed. We lazily expected ball to feet without moving to it or making room. All we did was offer the risk without the reward. We'll improve. Exactly, Cooves. Thank you for the super chat. You're too generous.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, I've still got 105 watching. Amazing. So yeah, thank you all for watching. This is exclusively for the Arsenal fans that didn't get to see George Graham manage. I've seen Wenger's whole tenure and him age out due to other team cycles. Arteta is building a 5-year plan. Chin up, people. Here we go. Message to the Gooners there. Go on, Kate. 100 and climbing. Revanite, it's those who say, give us Madrid in the quarters before we got Bayern just for us to get battered and laughed at. You know what? Those quarterfinals could all go any way. It's going to be fascinating, the games. I mean, Real Madrid versus City is going to be an absolute epic. Obviously, you've got Bayern and Arsenal. Is Kane going to be fit? He's pulled out.
Look, at the end of the day, Kate, if you get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, right, we proved that, right? There's not one team in it that can't win it. We proved it. We got to the final and we had a bad day on the final and we had that penalty against us, whatever, but we lost. But we still got to the final. Right? Well, if you get to the final, anyone can win it on the day. So if you get to the quarterfinals, there's not a team in it that can't win it. They ain't got to the quarterfinals because they're shit. They got to the quarterfinals because they can play football.
Big up Lord Ryan Arnold watching on Twitter says the
I'm a lord.
Yeah, Jim's a lord. Ownership needs to change. The club will achieve nothing with these owners. Yeah, seems to be a common consensus. I will get back to that comment. Just let me catch up and I will answer your question. I'm with Tom. Football's a mile away from what I grew up with, not just our club. I'm not as enthusiastic about today's game. Yeah, I get that. I can feel that as well. Yeah, please smash the likes. Thanks, Ellie. Just as old mate, just think times were better back then. Money has made a massive difference in the game these past 2 decades. Yep. 81, my favourite team. Why it's Tom 81. Was lucky to be there in the 81 for the final replay and in 91 final. You can't beat that feeling. You were there for the 91, weren't you, Jimbo? Was you there for the 81? No, not the 81, the 91.
No, the 81 I wasn't. 91. I supported Tottenham in 81, but I wasn't there.
Yes, indeed, James Bond. We are back to being shit. Lynn says, back in the day, Spurs were a totally different club. The players like Hoddle played for the badge. What was spoiled the game is the money. Agreed. Revanite, one on AFTV, even said Madrid's heritage is nothing against Arsenal's. Oh, don't. Yeah, we needed to put Fulham to bed. We were like Sleeping Beauty, says Ellie. Steve D says, no romance in football anymore. Sounds old gittish, but it's true. The whole thing is a bit sterile. Completely agree. Revenite, well, if we beat Bayern somehow, there's a good chance we get them. We have the hardest run possible. Yes, you have Man City or Real Madrid in the next round if you do beat Bayern.
I mean, it shows you that it's all about money when you've got good players going to the Saudi to earn bigger money. I mean, these players, so there's players out there that should still be in the Premier League.
Yeah. It's crazy, Mark. They've got no respect for most opponents, no self-awareness. Well played today. Imagine we meet in another final. Kate, you said Kane is the greatest player. Yeah, arguably is the greatest goal scorer, I meant. Arguably is the greatest goal scorer. Obviously, you'll have people that say...
different positions, Ellie.
Yeah, but I was going to say, you'll have people say that it's Jimmy Greaves, but in my lifetime, one of the greatest players I've ever seen, and indeed the greatest goal scorer in my lifetime. But yeah, everyone's got their own favourite players who they think's the best. I mean, Mickey Hazard said Glenn Hoddle's the greatest footballer to ever come out of England. So who are we to disagree with? Mickey Hazard when he was on the show. Harry Richardson says, honestly, I'd rather you win it than City. Problem is, I'd want you to win it, but your fans can be unbearable. Yeah, that's the Arsenal fans talking about. Talk to each other. Lynn says, also, it's very rare to have players from abroad. Most were homegrown, so all these players that come to any team say they love the club. Most of these players weren't born when these players were playing yet. Yeah, I can hear everything you guys are saying. I agree with you. Big up Tom81 with a super chat. Thank you so much. Says, congratulations, guys. Big up, much love. Back to you as well. Thank you very much for the super chat. Big up Vindaloo. I'm sure you didn't enjoy it at all. I bet you were sitting there laughing your head off. You swine. And girls, yeah, thank you. Big up Revenite. Has says, Kane or Bale, best in the modern era, hard to choose. Modric, defo the third. Yeah, for me, Kane, then Bale, then Modric is my three. And then fourth would be Van der Vaart because I just adored him. But yeah, I mean, when you look at them players, Kane, Bale, and Modric, oh my God. Amazing. Popular opinion, greatest DMCM in Prem history, Tom Huddleston. Just don't get the love. Yeah, I liked Moussa Dembele.
Dembele.
Yeah. You sounded like my dad then, Thomas. I loved Rafa too. I
think you're probably the only one in chat. I'm not old enough to be your dad.
Keep going, Kate. Big up, Bob Everett. Good to see you. My modern era is not as modern, though. Right, let me go back to this question. First of all, we had this one from Rakdos who says, any prediction for the Villa game versus West Ham?
I'm going to say, I think it's going to actually be a 2-2 draw.
And I'm going to go West Ham to nick it 3-2. First of all, and also get the fraud Arteta out. My club said, Kate and Jimbo, what made you support Tottenham? I'll go quickly first and say my uncle took me when I was little. My gramps was West Ham. My dad hated football. My uncle liked Tottenham. Took me to Tottenham, West Ham, and Tottenham won, and that was it. I was hooked. So it's really is as simple as that. But Jim's is a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I actually lived next to Chelsea and Fulham, and my family on my side, like my brother and that, they were Chelsea, but I was really close to my cousins, and my cousins were all Tottenham, and and I was really close to them, and they took me to Tottenham when I was really, really little, and I just fell in love with them. I just fell in love with Tottenham. I went to my first game. Oh my God, I was only a kid. I can't remember how old I was, but I was tiny. My uncle and my cousins, they were all, there was loads of them. And I just fell in love with Tottenham. But I used to go to Fulham games just to watch football. I never supported Fulham, but because it was down the road from me and you could go in and pay on the turnstile, I used to go and watch Fulham. I remember seeing George Best. But yeah, just I fell into love with Tottenham from a really young age, from them taking me, and loved them ever since.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I could have ended up a Chelsea supporter. I could have ended up a Fulham supporter because I was on the other side of the. I was in South London, so but become Tottenham.
I was. I used to go as 1 week. I would go to Tottenham, and 1 week I would go to Charlton. I've been to Charlton not as many times. I've been to Spurs, but I used to go to Charlton a lot. Another lovely ground, purely because it was up the road and there was always a spare ticket. So I did used to enjoy going.
I've been to Charlton a few times.
Yeah,
when I moved
great
up.
little ground.
Yeah.
Kate and Jimbo, have you guys been surprised how good our midfield is? Endo, Soboslai, McAllister have been incredible. Usually midfielders take a season to get adjusted to the Prem. McAllister's the only one I expected. I think everyone's been surprised by how brilliant your midfield's been. I don't think anyone expected it to be this good. So yeah, 100%. I've been surprised, but then you've recruited brilliantly, something that our club doesn't do.
I mean, Liverpool. If I'm going to be honest, if I'm going to say a team I think deserves to win the Premiership this year, right? If I'm going to say Liverpool, I tell you why. Because they've had a lot of setbacks this year, and they've come through them all. They've had a lot of injuries, right? And games they've gone into, and I thought they're going to lose these next few games because they've had to stick youngsters in. They've come through them. They lost their best player. What's his name? The striker. I can't think of his name.
Who?
The Egyptian.
Salah.
Yeah, they lost Salah. And I thought to myself they're going to struggle, but they just seem to pull wins out of the bag all the time. Mm-hmm. Lost to Arsenal, I know, but they haven't lost at home in how many games? I don't know, but it's a record. A lot, yeah. And they've just. I think that they've done at the three, Arsenal, City, and them. I think that they've done the best to stick in there. So if I had to pick a team I think deserves to win it, I would say definitely Liverpool.
Big up, Davo. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you for ages. Says, big up you two. Nice to catch you live. Enough love. Thank you very much. And thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I agree with this, Lynn. Where we're sat for the North London derby, we're actually there. The stewards are there. And then the Arsenal fans are there. So I'm sure we'll be getting abused. But you know what it is, what it is.
Oh, I'll be giving it. Don't worry about that.
Kuv says, I felt a little sorry for Dragushin and Udogi yesterday. You could see they haven't forged an understanding yet. So every error was highlighted harshly. Yeah, I agree. I think there's definitely potential there with Dragushin, though. Cheers, Jim. Not a lot of people say that. A lot of people talking about Arsenal. Well, we personally would love Liverpool to win it out of the three. Not going to lie. Daniel Levy needs to take the paycheck and leave Spurs. Will only push on when he's gone. I totally agree, Lord Ryan, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately. But I 1,000,000% agree with you.
Let me ask Ryan, Lord Ryan. All right, I love that word, Lord. All right, Lord Ryan. A question: will you change your stance a bit? I'm not saying fully, Ryan. Right, I'm not saying fully change it because I wouldn't expect you to after so many years of hurt. But if he comes good, over the next few windows and builds us a real good, solid team that start challenging all fronts, will you change your stance a bit or not?
I'm waiting for him to answer and talk to me, and then I've just realised that he's got to type it. Big up Lee Smithy Smith bringing the pigeon pawn with a £2 super chat. Big up to you. What will you guys do on the day if, and if it's a big if, Arsenal do win the league? Just be another day for me. But I'll be on the terrace as I always am at one point, and I'll put my hands up and say you deserved it. Whoever wins the league deserves to win the league. It's the hardest league in the world. So if Arsenal win it, they win it. I don't know about you, Jimbo.
Bob, Kate asked me the other day about this question, right? And I said to her, I don't really care who wins it. I just because I want us to win it, and we're not going to win it now, right? So it doesn't really bother me. But if I had to pick one, I wouldn't pick you because I'm a Spurs fan. But if you do win it, it won't affect me at all. If you win it, good luck to
Exactly.
you.
We're not going to sit and cry.
Yeah, if you win it, it means you deserve to win it because there's no winning the Premier League by luck. You don't win the Premier League by luck. If you win the Premier League, it's because you're the best team over 38 games. So if you win it,
you
and
deserve
then you're
it.
the best team over 38 games.
Exactly. Whoever wins it deserves it. It's such a hard feat to win the Premier League. So I'm not too proud to say, wow, Arsenal, well done. But I'm not going to sit and cry about it. It is what it is. I got whacked around the head at Charlton's Ground the Valley trying to see over the tall men when we were in the second division by a policeman. Oh my God. Talking amongst themselves. Big up to everyone. Don't worry, guys, they won't. Go on a holiday, of course. Renegade. I need a holiday. I haven't had do you know what? I haven't had a holiday for nearly 6 years. So I need a holiday. Who's at the top right now? Yes, we know who's at the top. No, I wouldn't at all. Been here too many times. False promises. All he does is take us fans for fools. Here's your answer, Jimbo.
Right. Yep.
Levy can't see them going. They have permission now to build hotels and other stuff next to the South Stand. If Gooners win the league, they will deserve it as they've played so well this season. I'll try and cry a little bit. I'll try and squeeze some tears out, Vindaloo, just for you, and I'll film it. I'll try it. If not, I'll just put water on my face so it looks like I'm crying. Shocking news, Jim flip-flopping. Haha, only joking.
I haven't flip-flop. I did say to Kate, I should tell you that so if we don't win it, it doesn't affect me who wins it, right?
Yeah,
I don't want Arsenal to win it because they're our rivals, right? Even though they don't think we're their rivals, we are their rivals. But if they win it, then there's nothing we can do. I'm not going to cheer for them, and I'm not going to cry for them either.
Big up, Danny Kiriakou. Good to see you with his Dragushin man bun. Bob Everett says, refreshing answer. Spuds fans I know are talking about leaving the country. Madness.
No.
If it helps, Vindaloo, I'll bawl my eyes out and stamp my feet like a spoilt brat. We need video evidence of that, Steve. Will Spurs ever win the league? This was a goldie, Sir Alex said never. Do you know what? I'm not sure whether we will or we won't. Time will tell. I
can tell you something. I'm not going to die until we win it, so I might be living till I'm 200.
I said last night on the terrace, Tottenham are the hardest and most horrible team to support, and they are. Won't be long for a Vindaloo. You know your cereal bottlers. Big up El Dante. We're good, thank you. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Levy's a businessman. However, he uses the football as a front because he is making so much money by having contracts with companies putting on the boxing and concerts. Yep. You're right, but enjoying it while it lasts. Yeah, bloody right. Enjoy it. Let's hope we turn up at the North London Derby with you next to them. We will. We've got to because we're there and we haven't been to the new stadium yet, so they've got to. Leicester scored. Go on, Leicester. 2-1 Chelsea. Great own goal. You've got to see it. Excellent. I shall watch that after.
It was a great goal.
I agree, Kate. Kane was a fabulous player and our greatest goal scorer. Let's see if he comes back and tries to beat Greaves' English record. Yeah.
The thing is there with the Tottenham, who's the best player that's ever wore a Tottenham shirt, you can't say one player because in different positions, Like you got them, you can't. There's so many players in different positions that have been so good for us. You know, it's hard.
Yeah. Well, we'll end it in a minute, Jimbo. If that's all right with you, because I've got to cook a nice roast chicken.
Lovely.
Yeah, we've got nice roast chicken out. Does anyone know what time Manchester United kick off against Liverpool? Is it 3:30? Is it 4:30? Is it 4? I'm just trying to work out timings for the dinner.
Yeah, I'll tell you now.
Looking forward to that. Should be a good game. Jimbo's
It is
just
3:30.
Yeah, 3:30. Okay, so it's 2:00, so I've got time to do the dinner.
And drill the bed into it.
Ellie says overall Hoddle was the best in my opinion. He was the most talented all-round player. Yeah, it's a good shout. I always like Tony Galvin, great player. Good shout. 5:30. No, it's actually 3:30 UK time. Chelsea all over the show. Can this weekend get any better? Yes, they could lose. Big up Tom81. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for coming in. It's always a pleasure to see you. Son's right up there as one of the best Spurs of all time with his assists and goals and his constant positive attitude and how he works with others. Big up Revanite. Yeah. Big up Spurs GCTV. Where's that gone? Hang on 1 second. Big up Spurs GCTV. Big up Noel. We're just finishing, but good to see you. Paul Allen. No. Yeah, we're going to
Clive Allen.
We're going on the 12th of April to a Legends Night with Mickey Hazard, and we're seeing Clive Allen and Chris Waddle. So really looking forward to that. Clive Allen, what a legend when that season when he scored 40-odd goals. Amazing. Yes, 3:30. Thank you, Elite. All the 81 team, why I love them. Yeah, well, watch out because not Mickey Hazard, he is coming back on the show, but we've got Gary Mabbutt coming on as well soon. So keep an eye out for that. Garth Crooks and Archibald, great striking partnership. Bring back
that was them days. Them days were just I just dream of them days coming back.
Wow, look at that. Greavesy, Gilzine and Best.
Yeah.
Blimey. Before my time.
Same as me, Bob.
But what an era.
Same as me.
What an era that is.
I grew up watching them.
Clive Allen, great player and lovely fella. Met him a few times. Yeah, looking forward to meeting him and Chris Waddle because he used to be one of my heartthrobs when I was younger because I loved his long hair. Him and Paul Walsh, I loved them both. So looking forward to that. So yeah, there's still tickets available for that. It's in Peterborough on the 12th of April if anyone fancies it. But that's all from us today. I need to eat. I'm starving. Jimbo, any last words?
Fucking Tottenham, I love you, but you drive me mad.
That's how I feel about you. I love you, but you drive me mad.
Yeah, but I was put on this planet to drive you mad, darling. That's my job.
We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 here, live with Ellie and Chang, reviewing not only the Tottenham game, but also all of the games from the weekend, FA Cup and Premier League. Lynn Simpson says those players were a friendly bunch. After training, my dad would go with them to the pub because Waddle's a Geordie like Dad, and he loved it. Oh, that's so nice. Big up, grab yourself a curry. See you later. Big up, Vindaloo. Thanks for coming in. Found her channel. My channel? Big up, boy Tendio. This is a good day. Why, have you been looking for me? I don't know if I should be scared.
You can have her. Take her.
Cliff Jones too. What a player indeed. Yeah. Paul Walsh, the Tottenham Michael Bolton. Yeah, I loved him. I still like him now, but I loved him when he had his long hair flowing behind him. Yeah, so I used to have a Tottenham jigsaw that my uncle bought me of that team with Paul Walsh and Hoddle and Waddle. And I used to kiss the Paul Walsh one and the paper started coming off the jigsaw.
I remember being at Tottenham one time and Howes played for us and he was injured. And I was like 2 seats away from him and he had his girlfriend there. Oh, my God. She was absolutely... Well, I think that I might have been drooling. And I was like a couple of seats away from her. I think I looked at her more than I looked at the game.
Jim can't grow his hair because when he grows his hair, it goes all curly-whirly.
It goes very curly, my hair.
He'll end up looking like Cucurella. I can't have that. So, yeah, thank you. I want to know why Boy Tendio has been looking for my channel. I'm confused. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We've had record numbers today. Please make sure you smash a like. I think I've had 10 new subs as well. So thank you so much. It means the world. Have a wonderful Sunday. Good luck to Liverpool and to Manchester United, whoever you support. Good luck in the game. And yeah, good luck to Villa. I can't, do you know what? I don't even think I can bring myself to wish West Ham good luck, even though it'd be better for us if they won. I just hate them. I don't think I can say it.
I can't say it.
But yeah, enjoy. Oh my God, Diamond Lights. That's a throwback. Enjoy the rest of your day. Spurs women leading. Big up to the Spurs.
Yeah, and we got them in the cup, haven't we?
Yeah, big up, Bob. You go and cheer on the Villa, you fiend. I can see you. I know what you're doing. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks again. Oh, sorry, before I go, I've just got to say big up to Steve D for the super chat, to Kuva for the super chat, to Tom81 for the super chat, and to Dave O for the super chat, and Lee Smithy Smith. You're all just so generous. I appreciate you guys so much. You need to get a man bun, Jimbo. Big up Lee Smithy Smith. Big up Mark Cook. Enjoy your day, people. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.
And we still trust.